The Conjuring Universe is more than just haunted houses and jump scares. It's a world where ancient demons, vengeful spirits, and cursed objects operate within a supernatural hierarchy. Some of these entities are so powerful that even the most experienced demonologists struggle to contain them, while others are dangerous but limited by their need for anchors or specific rituals. Today we're ranking 6 of the most infamous demons and spirits from the Conjuring universe by their actual power level, based on what's shown in the films. From the doll-bound Annabelle demon to the ancient Marquis of Hell, Valak. We'll break down their abilities, limitations, and what it really takes to survive an encounter with each. Let's dive into the true hierarchy of evil in the Conjuring universe. Demon 6. Annabelle. Demon. Annabelle Films, 2014 to 2019. At the bottom of the Conjuring universe's demonic hierarchy sits the Annabelle demon. While Annabelle is one of the most iconic horror dolls in cinema, the demon attached to her is, in fact, a lower-level entity compared to the universe's more ancient and powerful forces. In the films, the demon never receives a specific name, but is shown to be a spirit that requires a physical anchor, the Annabelle doll itself, to maintain its presence in the human world. Annabelle's power is rooted in manipulation and indirect violence. The demon is capable of moving objects, slamming doors, flickering lights, and orchestrating accidents that can lead to death. It can influence and even possess humans, especially those who are emotionally vulnerable or already traumatized. However, its power is limited to the immediate area around the doll, and it cannot manifest physically without this anchor. The demon's influence is strongest when it is able to feed on fear, anger, and despair. But it cannot create these emotions independently. It must manipulate circumstances to generate the negative energy it needs. The Annabelle demon's limitations are clear in the films. The Warrens are able to contain it using a glass case blessed by a priest, surrounded by religious artifacts and holy water. This containment is effective, and the demon is unable to escape or cause harm as long as these protections remain in place. The fact that Annabelle can be neutralized by standard Catholic protections and requires a physical object to operate keeps it at the bottom of the power hierarchy in the Conjuring universe. Demon 5, The Bride in Black, Insidious Universe, 2010 to 2013. Although technically from the Insidious series, The Bride in Black is often discussed alongside Conjuring Universe entities due to James Wan's creative overlap. The Bride in Black, or Parker Crane, is a vengeful spirit who haunts and possesses through the further, the astral realm. Unlike Annabelle, the Bride in Black does not require a physical anchor and can possess living humans, especially targeting the Lambert family across generations. The Bride in Black's power lies in her ability to manipulate reality within the further and the physical world. She can possess, influence, and even kill, and her supernatural reach extends across decades. Her haunting is not random. She targets specific bloodlines and uses psychological manipulation to weaken her victims before attempting possession. The entity's connection to the further gives her access to supernatural abilities that transcend normal physical limitations, such as appearing in multiple places simultaneously and manipulating time within haunted locations. However, the Bride in Black's influence is limited by her need for a host and her connection to the further. She can be banished by skilled astral projectors and spiritual mediums, as seen with Elise Rainier. While she is more powerful than a typical ghost, her need for a host and her vulnerability to spiritual intervention keep her from reaching the upper echelons of the Conjuring universe's demonic hierarchy. Demon 4, The Ferryman, Annabelle Comes Home, 2019. The Ferryman, introduced in Annabelle Comes Home, is a death-collecting entity inspired by the mythological Charon, the ferryman of Hades. The ferryman's power is tied to death and the transition of souls, and he is responsible for guiding souls to the afterlife. In the film, the ferryman is depicted as a skeletal figure who collects coins from the eyes of the dead, and his supernatural abilities are strongest around death and those who disturb his coins or associated artifacts. The ferryman can manifest as a terrifying apparition, create death omens, and manipulate the environment to isolate and terrify his victims. He is able to appear anywhere death is imminent, and his supernatural knowledge allows him to predict and potentially influence fatal events. The ferryman's connection to death itself gives him authority over life and death situations that exceed simple haunting spirits. However, the ferryman's influence is limited to those who interact with his coins or artifacts. He is not omnipresent and does not have the broad reality-manipulating powers of higher-ranking demons. Avoiding his coins and not disturbing his artifacts are key to avoiding his wrath. While he is a formidable threat, his power is specialized and not as universally dangerous as the top demons in the Conjuring Universe. Demon 3, La Llorona, The Curse of La Llorona, 2019. La Llorona, or the Weeping Woman, is a vengeful spirit from Mexican folklore who hunts children to replace the ones she drowned. In the Conjuring Universe, she is depicted as a powerful, centuries-old entity with supernatural abilities that make her a significant threat, especially to children. La Llorona's powers include supernatural strength and speed, water manipulation, and the ability to appear and disappear at will. She can pass through walls, create hallucinations, and mark children for abduction and death. Her supernatural manifestations often involve water, reflecting her origin story as a mother who drowned her own children and is now cursed to seek replacements for eternity. What sets La Llorona apart is her resistance to conventional spiritual intervention. Standard blessed objects and prayers provide only temporary protection, and she can only be repelled or banished by specific rituals rooted in Mexican folk traditions. In the film, the use of the tears of the woman who wept and blessed seeds are required to weaken her, showing that her power is tied to ancient cultural practices. La Llorona's power is formidable, but it is focused on a specific type of victim, children, and her influence is strongest when she is able to exploit parental fear and guilt. She is not as universally powerful as the top two demons, but is a formidable and persistent threat. Demon 2, Bathsheba Sherman, The Conjuring, 2013. Bathsheba Sherman is a witch-turned-demonic entity who haunts the Perrin family farmhouse. Based on a real historical figure accused of witchcraft and child murder in the 19th century, Bathsheba's power comes from her pact with demonic forces and her willingness to sacrifice her own child. Bathsheba's abilities include full demonic possession of living humans, manipulation of the environment, levitation, moving objects, creating cold spots, and the power to curse land and bloodlines, causing generational hauntings. She is able to resist standard exorcism and requires advanced spiritual intervention, as seen when Ed and Lorraine Warren must combine their efforts to expel her. Her power is strongest on the land where she died and cursed, and she is able to manipulate multiple family members simultaneously. Bathsheba's possession abilities are among the most powerful in the Conjuring Universe, and her resistance to standard spiritual defenses makes her a significant threat. However, Bathsheba's power is ultimately tied to her territory and the specific circumstances of her death. She can be weakened by direct confrontation with strong faith and exorcism rituals, and her influence diminishes outside her cursed domain. Still, her combination of witch knowledge, demonic authority, and generational influence places her near the top of the power hierarchy. Demon 1, Valak, The Conjuring. 2, The Nun, 2016 to 2018. Valak is the most powerful demon in the Conjuring Universe, depicted as a Marquis of Hell and an ancient fallen angel. Valak's influence spans centuries and continents, orchestrating events across multiple films. The demon's abilities are vast, including reality manipulation on a massive scale, the power to corrupt holy ground, and the ability to command other demons and spirits. Valak is a master shapeshifter, appearing as the Nun, the Crooked Man, and other forms to maximize psychological impact on victims. The demon's power includes possession, telekinesis, and the creation of complex supernatural conspiracies that span decades. Valak is able to resist most forms of exorcism and can only be banished by knowing its true name, a detail that is crucial in The Conjuring 2. The Nun establishes that Valak's supernatural authority extends to corrupting entire religious institutions and overwhelming the spiritual defenses of trained clergy. The demon's ability to corrupt the Romanian abbey and resist the combined spiritual power of multiple nuns and priests demonstrates supernatural power that exceeds standard demonic entities. Valak's intelligence is as formidable as its power, The demon can orchestrate complex plans, exploit supernatural loopholes, and adapt its tactics to overcome even the most experienced exorcists. Its formal rank as Marquis of Hell gives it official authority within the demonic command structure, allowing it to command lesser demons and influence major supernatural events. Valak's placement at the top of the power hierarchy is confirmed by the extraordinary spiritual resources required to combat the demon. The entity's defeat requires specific knowledge of its proper name, the combined spiritual authority of multiple blessed practitioners, and divine intervention that exceeds standard exorcism procedures. The Conjuring Universe is built on a clear supernatural hierarchy, where each demon's power level determines the threat it poses and the resources needed to fight it. From the doll-bound Annabelle demon to the ancient Marquis of Hell, Valak, these entities are not just random monsters, they are organized, strategic, and terrifyingly powerful. Understanding this hierarchy is crucial for survival in the Conjuring Universe. Lower-level demons can be contained with blessed objects and rituals, but the most powerful entities require knowledge, faith, and sometimes even divine intervention. Which Conjuring Universe demon would you least want to face? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more horror content that explores the true power behind supernatural evil.